Well, hey there, everybody. My name is Dan Davidson.
And my name is Bill Smith, and it's time for the news from TrekNews.net.
Oh, wait,
wait.
Hold
Stop
on. It's been a while. I got to turn up the I got to crank it. Hold on.
Yeah. Spanning the Alpha Quadrant. For all the news on all the Star Treks, yo. It's TrekNews.net.
TrekNews.net.
Online at TrekNews.net. Dan, I'm not sure if people know, but this is the news from TrekNews.net. Your look at the biggest news in Star Trek from Trek Geeks, bringing you all the Trek news in 15 minutes or less for the week of June 28th, 2023. Mm-hmm. And buddy, there's really only one story worth talking about this week. It's the surprise and rather abrupt cancellation of Star Trek Prodigy.
Yeah, you know, it's been a while since we recorded, and why do we have to have a sucky news story for the news from TrekNews.net? Because
it's karma for you.
It is. It's very disappointing news. Very abruptly, we found out recently, after just one season, Star Trek Prodigy has been canceled. We will not see season 2 on Paramount Plus. And as a matter of fact, as of today, as we record this, season 1 has been removed from Paramount Plus. It is just a very strange situation. In addition to Prodigy, Grease, Rise of the Pink Ladies, Queen of the Universe, and The Game have all been removed as well. It's just very, very sad news. Dan and Kevin Hageman, the brothers who created Star Trek Prodigy, have addressed the cancellation of their amazing show on Twitter by saying, quote, "Star Trek has taught my brother and me to strive for a better future. While news of Star Trek Prodigy not returning to Paramount Plus is disappointing, we have faith this show will be picked up by a new home to help grow our fervent fan base and inspire the next generation of Star Trek fans. Our talented and passionate team of artists are working tirelessly to complete season 2. Bill, you know, in our own personal life with work, we've had some really weird stuff happening in the past year. This makes absolutely zero sense from anybody not working in that little box called Paramount.
No, I agree with you 100%. I mean, I understand the reason they say it's happening. It's to give themselves a tax break, which is just ludicrous. They produced it. They own it. Mm-hmm. The fact that it's not on a streaming service or on a streaming service shouldn't matter.
No,
it just honestly, it shouldn't matter. They've already paid for it.
Yeah.
So for the first time since I think 2005, I think I saw this on Twitter, and I think it was probably from Jim Morehouse.
Yeah.
We live in a world where not all of the produced Star Trek is able to be watched, either online or through physical media, because the second half of Star Trek Prodigy's first season hasn't been released on DVD and Blu-ray.
Correct. And you got a question with this decision. Is that something that's going to be affected? Will they bother producing those last episodes of season 1? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense at all. They own the IP. Paramount Plus is their baby. I'd love to be a fly on the wall to find out what the real reason is, because there are other reasons than anything that we have been told or speculated or anything like that. It really is a very, very bad move. It's left a very sour taste in a lot of Star Trek fans' mouths,
including ours.
Yes.
I mean, they say this is data driven. I don't know how much I believe that. I can believe that Rise of the Pink Ladies wasn't the barn burner they thought it was. But between Nickelodeon and Paramount Plus, I have to think that there were enough views to support it. I just think it was probably more expensive to produce. I don't know that because I don't know anything about this style of animation. But you figure when Lower Decks is going into what, season 4 or 5?
4.
4?
Yeah.
It's, if you look at what's happened recently, they've announced the cancellation of Star Trek Discovery. Mm-hmm. They've announced that Prodigy has essentially been canceled, even though season 2 is almost complete.
Right.
And just today, as we record this, the price of Paramount Plus went up.
Yeah.
Because it's going to include Showtime. Today, they removed Prodigy from Paramount Plus yesterday.
It was yesterday. That's right. Not this morning. Yeah.
And correct. Today, the price went up.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely disgusting. We've been saying for a while this is the best time in history to be a Star Trek fan.
Not today.
Dan, I think that age is over.
I think that ended 2 days ago, or whenever this announcement came out. It makes no sense. We just had the end of Picard's incredible third season, so that show is done. Now, I'm going to throw this out there. This is something I thought of the other day. I haven't seen it on Twitter because I'm not on Twitter anymore because Twitter sucks. I'll say that up front. So I don't know if this has been speculated out there. I said to my wife just a little while ago, maybe they decided to cancel Prodigy because they're going to have a Janeway show and they needed to get Kate Mulgrew free of doing anything so she could concentrate on live action.
No,
I know. I'm just like, wouldn't that be great? Not going to happen, because if it's not that, then nothing, whatever they give us for a reason is nothing and then more than an excuse.
Well, that's it. It's all an excuse. There are people, fans out there saying, well, they're doing this to make way for Star Trek Legacy. No, they're not. There's not even a show proposal that's been greenlit yet. Mm-hmm. There is no Star Trek Legacy. There is no Star Trek Janeway. We've lost 3 shows now out of the 5 that we had running.
Right.
And this is my conjecture. I don't know anything about this to be true, but I'm willing to bet that this is the last season of Lower Decks. I'm willing to bet that gets canceled as well. And I think that they will probably cancel Strange New Worlds after 3 seasons, although I hope it gets 5.
Oh boy, that would hurt. It would hurt for both of those, because Lower Decks is phenomenal and Strange New Worlds is just absolutely fantastic. And what does this say for the Section 31 movie that was announced not too long ago? I wonder what's going to happen with that.
I think that's going to languish for a while, much like the idea of a series did. And eventually, I think if it happens, it will be certainly scaled back.
Yeah. It's really a shame. And, for all of those people over the years who have said that we're nothing but CBS shills who always will stick up for them and give them no, we're really pissed. And this is a mistake. And there are millions of Star Trek fans out there who are just as upset as we are. And I think as fans that have poured our heart, soul, money, and everything into this franchise, we deserve a better explanation. I really think we do.
We do. Paramount, I used to try to have faith in Paramount because they've done pretty well by the franchise so far.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. They really have.
You figure that there was the Started Again, Stopped Again Kelvin timeline movie, the 4th one.
Yep.
Picard ran its course, so I can't really say much about that because they really only ever said to Patrick, let's do 3 seasons, and he said, okay. But Discovery being ended prematurely, Prodigy being ended prematurely, content being removed from the platform. I'm sorry, but Paramount has made a mess of this whole thing. And at every turn, it has been a public relations failure.
Isn't it interesting that mergers have kind of sucked for us lately? I'll just throw a little personal jab in at our employment situation and what we've been dealing with. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It's been a PR nightmare. I don't know who's running their PR. But evidently nobody, because I haven't said anything about it. But if they did, they'd have to be somebody who really knew how to spin things, because there's no real way to spin this, buddy.
There isn't. And they honestly don't care, quite honestly.
Which is another shame.
They made the decision that they're going to make, and they're just pressing forward.
Right.
I understand there's a petition out there. I understand how fans feel. Online petitions are meaningless because nobody takes them seriously. I'm sorry to say it. If you really want to mount a campaign, and I said this when Discovery was canceled too, you have to mount, a letter campaign or an email campaign to the CEO of Paramount Plus and make it happen, because you have to bury his inbox with messages. Right. And of course, people say, well, they could just create a rule to dump all those emails. Yes, they could. But that just means fans need to work that much harder if they really want Prodigy to stay around. An online petition just isn't going to do it.
I have some hope that somewhere, we've seen it happen with other shows over the last few years, someone will pick up season 2. I can only hope that because of all of the time, energy, and passion that all of the folks involved in the production of the show have put into it, like our friend Bonnie Gordon, who we just talked about a little while ago in our outtake. I really hope that for their sake, so that this craft and this genius that they did of season 2 can be seen by everybody. I hope somebody picks it up somewhere so that we can see it. I really hope that happens.
I never thought I'd utter these words in my life, but I kind of hope that Jeff Bezos steps up and makes a play to put it on Amazon.
Yeah.
Even though he's not the CEO of Amazon anymore.
He's got power.
He's a huge Star Trek fan. He was in Star Trek Beyond in a brief role as an alien. I can only hope that maybe he says, we got this. We'll do it.
That would be awesome.
You know, I don't care if Amazon becomes the new home of Star Trek altogether. In fact, hey, Bezos, why don't you buy Star Trek?
That's right.
You can actually afford it.
Yep. Then we can, have people running the show that know what the hell they're doing.
If Amazon can buy James Bond and the MGM library, which they really only bought for James Bond, what the hell? Why not?
Let's be honest, Bill. Amazon can buy anything they want.
Maybe they'll buy Paramount.
Yeah,
Who knows?
I don't know. But anyway, yeah, very sad day, sad week. And it's a shame. I was looking forward to see what happens with Janeway, Admiral Janeway, and all the kids. Hope that someday we get to see it, man. I really do.
The worst part is we can't even drown our sorrows in watching season 1 of Prodigy because it's gone from Paramount Plus.
Unbelievable.
And in fact, Crave in Canada is losing pretty much all of the Star Trek except Strange New Worlds.
Oh, I was not aware of that. Wow.
Yeah, I saw that online
news
today
all
too.
around.
At least that's what I've read. That's what I've been told. I don't know if that's wrong. I hope somebody corrects me, but I saw recently that, in the coming weeks, they'll be losing all of the Trek, including the new stuff that they debuted in Canada.
Wow. We'll have to check with Sarah and Barry, see what they say once they get their gerbils running to get their little modem started up.
Well, that's only Barry that has that problem.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Well, anyway. Not the greatest news.
Nope.
That's going to do it for the news from TrekNews.net for the week of January 28th, 2023. And of course, remember, for all the news on all the Star Trek CO, please visit our great friends at TrekNews.net. .Nate?
.Nate.
TrekNews.Nate.
I like Nate.
Trek Geeps. TrekNews.net. Have a great week, everybody. Live long and prosper.
Coconut. Coconut.